Yes, we are live. Hello. And we've got Dean here, and we've got Dwayne here, and we've got Bob here. Thank you, Bob, for helping us out today. I think it's really great. We're going to do I Should Have Known Better by the Beatles. And we're going to talk not just about the song, but we're going to talk about things that we've been talking about for the last few weeks, and that's scales and chords and things like that, and also on our hangout that we've been doing, that I do a private hangout with my supporters. Last week we were talking, let me put this a little bit higher. Last week we were talking about chords and keys and how you transpose and things like that. So we're going to talk about that too. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming by. Just, I just don't feel comfortable completely yet. That's okay. All right, so I should have known better. Let's see, how's it go? I have a tendency to play this too fast. Hey Tom, how you doing? I should have known better, like that. Starts out on that D note. Now I know a lot of people, a lot of guys who can't sing that high. They're feeling like, oh man. So they sing lower. I should have known better. And we start out with the G chord. Regular G chord going to a D chord. And if you watch the video, A Hard Day's Night, when they do that, George looks like he's doing it this way. Back and forth. And I've talked to you about this before, about learning how to go back and forth really quick with your chords. And this is a great song for that. You got a G chord and a D chord. But I must tell you that I don't just play the D chord and the G chord. I mean, I don't play it in the key of G. And the reason is because when he does, let's see, how's it go? Not when I tell you that I love you. Oh, you know that part right there, the bridge. Let's see. And when I ask you to be mine, and you go all the way up to B. That's really a high note. That's a high tenor note. And Paul can do it, and John can do it, no problem. Those guys, man, they sang really high. I don't like to sing that high. So what I've done is I've taken the song and I put it down. Now, I'm going to put this in my book, and I'm going to come out with a version either today or tomorrow. And I've got it in the key of D instead of the key of key of G. And then I realized, you know what? Let's put it down to the key of C. So I did it yesterday in the key of C. So it starts out with a C chord. I should have known better. I could go like you. It's really a lot easier. Now, if you want to raise it a little bit, you can take your capo. Like if you want to raise it a little bit, you can take your capo. But it's also, if you want to do it in the original key, go ahead and do it the way the Beatles did it. I really like looking at them playing it, and there's the recording that I found, the video that I found is the video that they did, well, it's cut out from A Hard Day's Night. You know what? When I was a kid, when I was like 7 years old, my dad took me to see Hard Day's Night in the theater. This is just a little aside, okay? It was playing in the theaters. We were living in, I think, Inglewood, California, down in the LA area, not too far from LAX. You can look it up. And my dad was born in England. He was born in Yorkshire County, near Leeds, a little town called Pudsey. And I think he really liked the Beatles because they were from England. So we went to see it. He took my mom and me, and I'll tell you, Beatlemania was in full force because when they sang the songs, you could not even hardly hear what was coming off the screen. The girls were screaming so loud, and everybody was just going crazy. Dwayne says, the key of C seems so much easier to sing. It is. It is. I'm going to scan over my Let's see. Okay. I'm just looking at my comments here. Very, very good. I'm going to pull up now. We're going to do, let's see here. Hold on. We're going to go to Ultimate Guitar for just a second. And I'm going to take myself off the screen. And right up here, this is an ultimateguitar.com lead sheet. The official lead sheet is all tabs. And to tell you the truth, I don't always like just the tabs. I like to see the chords. You know, maybe some of you are that way too. Here are the chords: G, D, E minor, C, B7, G7. These are great chords. And it's in the key of G. But I don't want to play it in the key of G. So what we're going to do is we're going to transpose it. Let me put myself back on the screen so you guys can see me. But we're going to do this right here. Now, it's in the key of G. Here's the key of G. See that? And then I'm going to take, now if you look at in my book, in the back, I don't remember what page it's on. I think Tom might remember, or Dwayne, who's in the chat, what page it's on. It's like 300 and something, 64. I don't know what it is. I'd have to look it up. It changes every time I update the book because everything moves and I add more pages. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to change these. This is the key of C. Here's the notes in the key of C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, if you've been following me, you know that it goes like this. Or you can do it on, there's your notes right there, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now the key of G, I'm going to start right there on the G string. All the notes are the same except for the F sharp. And this is how I transpose it. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to transpose this from the key of G into the key of C. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take that off there, move it down, and put it underneath. Since we're going to go from the key of G, I'm going to put the key of G on the top, and I'm going to number these scale notes from 1 to 7. Watch. So right there we got G is 1, A is 2, B is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see it on the screen. Now I'm going to number the ones underneath the key of C also so you can see it really easily. And this just gives us a good place to be at. Helps us to understand what we're going to do. Now I'm going to go back and forth between right here, this lead sheet, and where we're going, because I'm going to take it from the key of G and put it into the key of C. So what we do, you'll notice that right there, the key of G, it starts with the G chord to the D. That's the intro. Should have known better. So we go back between G and D. Now let's look at this. G is 1 and D is 5. I'm going to take myself off the screen just for a second. I'm back. So G is 1 and D is 5. These are called the 1 chord and the 5 chord. So at the beginning of the song, we're going back and forth between G to D. So what we do is we're going to do the same thing in the key of C. We're going to go from C, which is the 1 chord, to the G, which is the 5 chord. You do exactly the same thing. So let's see here. Let's go down here and let's bring up, these are the chords, G to D. So what we do is we change them. These are our chords that we have in the song. Right there, you'll see right there it goes G to G, G to D. It does it a whole bunch of times. And then right here on that G to G with an F sharp bass, that's the part that goes that I would love everything that you do, and I do, hey, 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 titty, and I do. Okay, so what we do here is we're going to take that G chord and we're going to change it into a C chord. All right, right? So what you do is, okay, it was a G chord, you turn it into a C chord. Here, it's a D chord, you change it into a G chord. Now we have okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next line. And let me move that out of the way so we don't see it. Let's put it in here. This is the next line. So the G is going to turn into a C. Now this is what we do for the next one. The G with an F sharp bass. Now you could do a D with an F sharp bass there, like that. Let me get back on here. Let me put this, let me open up this right here so you can still see it. You could do G, you could do G with an F sharp bass, and then E minor. Love everything that you do, right? Or you could do G, D with an F sharp bass, E minor. I just go. It goes by so fast, it's only 2 beats. So what we're going to do for the C, in the key of C, we're going to go C, and we're going to make a slash, and then right here, see the F sharp? Well, if you look at the F sharp, you go straight down right there. Here, let's change screens again so you can see it a little better. There's the F sharp. You go straight down, it turns it into a B. So we just go down here and we put a B. All right? And then the next one is an E minor. See the E right there? You go straight down and it's going to change into an A minor. This up here was a minor, right? Oops. I'm just moving these over just to show you what we do here. Okay, it's really an E minor chord going to an A minor chord. I didn't put the minors out. In fact, in the G scale, the A minor, A is a minor, the B is a minor, C is major, these are major. The F is actually a diminished chord, but we're not going to worry about that right now, right? I'm just doing this so you can see it. So it would actually be like this. Right? Okay. I'm doing this so you can see what's going on. There we go. Now you can see what chords are going where. So our E minor turns into A minor. And our C chord, remember the C chord, let's see, let's go back up and look. C chord in the key of G turns into an F chord. So we're going to turn that into an F chord. And then our D chord, we look up there again, turns into a G chord. And our G chord turns into a C chord. So there. So what we're doing, let's see. let's see. Let's sing it from the beginning. We're going to start with a C, C, G, C. Da, 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 da. C, C with the B bass, A minor, and I do. Yeah, I'm playing the bar chord. And da, 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 da. Then we go back to that C to G. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do, 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 da, ba, 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 ba. C with the B bass. Da, 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 da. That's the next one. Now down here what happens is that instead of on the second line, I'm sorry, on the second verse, it does this. It goes to an E chord. It's awesome. Oops. Let me get rid of that. See. Da, 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 da. Yep, the second time through it goes like this. Turns into an E. Now, let's go back and look at the lead sheet right here. You'll notice that in the original version, it goes from a C to a B7. See that? Can't you see that when I tell you that I love you? Really interesting. Okay, what is that B7 doing there? Let's go back to our chords up here. There's no, look, in the key of G, it's a B minor. Why is there a B7? I want to know, right? And what does it go? It goes from a B7 to an E minor. Not when I tell you that I love you, right? Why is that a B7 to E minor? Well, let's check it out. What happens here is, have you ever heard of secondary dominance? Okay, if we go to, yeah, there it is right there. So a secondary dominant is when, now the dominant chord is the 5 chord. Okay, so when you're doing a D to a G, that's a dominant, or a D7 to a G would be dominant to tonic. The G going to C, I've got my cursor right there. The G going to C would be the G would be a dominant. But in the song, we have a B7 going to an E minor, and you'll notice that the B minor, it's not a B minor, it goes to an E minor, which is the 6th chord. Let's do something right here. Let's put E, I'm going to put E, F, G. And then what I'm going to do is do A, B. We're going to separate this so this isn't, confusing. If we put numbers under this, you'll notice that B to E, there's 5, it's called a 5th. E, F, G, A, B. E, F, G, A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So what we're doing here is we've actually got a 5-to-1 relationship when we have that B7 going to an E minor. Like that. It's really a 5-to-1 relationship. It's acting like it's in the key of E minor. Sounds awesome. It's called a secondary dominant. And that's what happens in this song. Now in the key of C, it goes from an F to an A minor, right? And if you look at F to A minor, let's go out a little bit farther. I'm going to run out of room here. I'm going to put numbers under this. Okay, wait a minute. I think I said it wrong. You'll notice that E to A minor is 5 to 1. I'm going in order, A, B, C, D, E, right? That's called a fifth. The E, or E7, or in the case of the other one, B7 to E minor, right? Those are really strong relationships. They sound really good. That's why the Beatles chose that, so that they could do, right? That's why they did that. So, on our lead sheet with, I'm going to take this off the screen just for a second. When we're doing, let's see, only happened to me, can't you see, can't you see, A minor, at when I tell you that I love you, oh, you're gonna say you love me too, I don't know, and when I ask you to be mine, you're gonna say you love me too. That was the bridge. Just to let you know. So it's really cool, right? I'll have this in my book so you can get it for those of you who are subscribed and that kind of thing. This is a great song. I love this song. So this isn't a step-by-step how do you play this song, right? Basically, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Should have known better with a girl like you. Oh, I did the wrong thing. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1. Let's see. Love everything that you do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, hey, hey. 2, 3, 4. 2. It's a great song to be able to practice that kind of thing. Let me go back to my comments and see if there are any questions that I need to answer. Let's see here. I should be taking notes, Al. Dwayne, you've got the key, you've got the video. You can go back and look at it. Let's see here. Glad you made it. Let's see. Oh, Lisa. Is Lisa here? Lisa, there. I'm back from Mexico. Hey, welcome, Lisa. Hello. Remember to hit the like. Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Bob, for reminding everybody. Give me a like if you like what I'm doing here. Let's see. Then you Dean. Okay. Let's see. Should be taking notes. Nope. No questions. Okay. Should have known better with a girl like you. Through here. And when I tell you that I love you, you're gonna say you love me too. C7. And when I ask you to be mine, gonna say about you. That's right. It's kind of fun. I'm just improvising. That's all I'm doing. I'm looking at the chat over here on the right as I'm playing that. That's all I was doing, just improvising. So it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. On that C with a B bass, I did a G with a B bass. Of everything that you do. One thing that happens right here is when you play a C with a B bass, excuse me, a C, and then you play a C with a B bass, if you just play the inside strings, I guess that's it's like a G with a B bass without the G, except for that note. I like that. Yes, and Hangout today. We're going to hang out. The link is the same as last week for those of you who have it. If you don't know what the Hangout link is, look in the description and you can find out how to hang out with us. And that is to sign up at Subscribestar or Patreon or get on my email list, right? That's how you do it. So anyway, you guys are going to have, if you have any trouble, guys, anybody that's here hanging out, I'm going to have my email open. If anybody needs the link, what I'll do is I'll email you real quick. Email me lessonswithhal@gmail.com and say, hey, send me the link. I don't have the link. I can't find it or something like that. And I will send it to you as we fly. Thank you for being here. And I hope this helps to understand what we're doing as far as, you know, transposing and that kind of thing. Another thing that happens here is that we would use, let's see here. Let me record really quick. I'm going to do one more thing before I go, because I like to do that sometimes. All right, I'm going to put it on my ditto looper. I'm just going to strum it because it's a little easier, so I won't make as many mistakes. So it's like, myself. Can't you see? Can't you see? Sped up, didn't I? I'm using the scale. The notes, I'm just doing it by hand. Just improvising here. That's what I do sometimes. All right, thanks for coming. You know, yeah, you're right. Bob says, I love the transpose function of Ultimate Guitar. I do too. You know what's really good about understanding how to do it without the transpose function? I'm waiting for you to answer. Yes, you're right. It's when your computer won't come up and the internet is down, you can do it all by yourself. And then you'll understand why. Why. That's really important. Okay, guys, I'm going to take off. You know, those last, that little improvisation that I did will probably take away my ad revenue for that. So if you could sign up and give me a donation, that'd be really great. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you guys later.